Yes, shall we start with the session? Good afternoon to all of you, and welcome
Good
back
afternoon.
to
Good afternoon,
yet another session on management fundamentals. All of you can hear me properly?
Yes.
My voice
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
clearly audible to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Well, we're going to start with our session. Uh, just as usual, what we do every time, a small recap. Can somebody just raise the hand and explain what we have done up till now? Only the keywords. What I want is only the keywords. Yes, Vasundhara. This is the usual practice which we follow, and at the very back end, at the last moment, we'll be taking two MCQs. Yes, Vasundhara, you can unmute yourself and you can talk.
So you want to know till now what we have done, or you want to know the last session what we have done?
A small recap of whatever we have done, whatever we can recall.
So till now we are doing.
Vasundhara, am I audible to you? I cannot hear
Yes,
you.
sir, I can hear you, sir. I can hear you, sir. Am I audible? Everybody please mute yourself.
Prashant, please mute yourself.
Yes, Vasundhara, I'm not able to. You are not audible to me.
Yes, sir. Now can you hear me, sir? Sir, can you hear me? Sir, am I audible now? Sir,
Yes,
Sir,
sir.
you are audible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are audible.
audible now?
Yes, now you are on.
So we are doing the elements of management.
Right.
Till now we have done planning, we have done organizing, we have done directing, and now we will proceed towards staffing today.
Right. Apart from this, we have done with directing and leadership also. If you are able to recall or remember, we have
Yes,
done.
sir. Elements of directing. So you have told how the elements of directing staff. Elements of directing. So you have told us, and the importance of directing in directing session. I'm telling you, sir.
Right. And see, apart
Till now we have done.
Apart from this, we have done difference between administration and management. If you are able to recall it, right? We have
Yes,
done
sir.
with we
Yes,
have
sir.
done with
Management and administration. Yes, sir.
difference between management and administration, right? And we
Yes, sir.
have taken few MCQs also up till now in all these
Yes, sir.
sessions. We have taken few MCQs related to functions of management, right? So today
Yes, sir.
what we are going to discuss is something regarding to staffing, which is, see, first function was planning, that is what we have seen. Organizing we have seen, and third is staffing, right? In a sequence, it comes as a third function, staffing. After that, directing, post-SCOL again, right? It's an acronym. All the time when we talk about this subject, you have to remember that acronym called as post-SCOL, which was framed, which was coined by the famous management philosopher. Who was the management philosopher? Luther Gulick, right? Good. Yeah, good, excellent. So this particular acronym forms the basic of our subject actually, from the framework of our subject: planning, organizing, staffing, directing, coordinating, POSD, right? Directing, coordinating. Then we have what? Reporting and budgeting, right? So budgeting talks about what? It talks about all the managing funds, how to arrange for funds and all those things. That is part of budgeting or planning, doing the financial projection also, financial planning also. So we have done with planning, we have done with organizing, we have done with directing also. Why I have taken directing? Because we had a session on leadership earlier, right? I hope all of you remember. So leadership and directing goes hand in hand. That is what we have seen. So we have covered directing also. Staffing was remaining, right? So today what we are going to do is we are going to discuss staffing as a function of management. Now my first question is, before I show you my presentation, my first question is, can you differentiate between staffing, recruiting, than HRM, that is human resource management? Are these terms one and the same, or are they different? First of all, let us talk about staffing and recruiting. Staffing as a function and recruiting as again one of the function, I would say. So what do you think? Are these two terms one and the same, or are they different? Yes, raise your hand if you want to contribute. Otherwise, I am going to explain it. Anybody in the group who knows the difference between staffing and recruiting? I'm going to explain it. Don't worry about it. What is the difference and why there is a difference, right? So anybody in the group knows the basic difference? Staffing and
one difference I can say on
Yes.
my perspective.
right.
It may be right, it may be wrong. Also.
Yeah. See, you can take a wild gaze also. I don't expect that you should be knowing all the things, right? Fine. Yes. Go ahead,
sir.
Vasundhara.
Staffing is basically a formal step in the organization where the managers take the initiative to particular person to give the authority that he will do this, he will not do this. ऐसे करके so this is staffing. And the next one आपने क्या बोला था? So staffing and
Recruitment or
recruiting. So recruitment is maybe informal also, because we may recruit the person outside the organization also. Because this is what I feel.
Yeah, fine. Ritu would like to. Yeah, Priya. I'll give first chance to Priya. Priya, after that.
Yes. Okay. Hello, sir.
Yes, Priya.
Sir, staffing is a function carried across all the levels within an organization. Recruitment is carried only during the initial stages of hiring a candidate.
Right. To a certain extent, you are correct. Ritu, you want to say something?
Yes, sir.
See, why I am asking this question is because it is a bit confusing. Because I'll give the answer. First of all, let Ritu contribute. Yes, Ritu.
Okay, sir. Sir, according to me, sir, if I say the recruitment is something where we need more and more candidates to apply for the vacant position in the job. And if I say about staffing is something which can be considered as finding the right person at the right job and having the right qualifications so that the person can do the job properly.
Okay. Fine. I'll explain it to all of you. In fact, recruitment is a part of staffing. Staffing is again, as I said, is a very broad function of management, which includes everything: training the employees, then development of employees. It includes selection as well as recruitment. I mean to say, entire process of planning human resource management. Right? Just a moment. Just give me a second and I'll get back to you again. Just a minute. Hello. हाँ बोलो. हाँ. Yes, sorry for the break. In fact, I was explaining you what is the difference between staffing and recruitment, right? Satyendra want to contribute. Yes, Satyendra, you want to say?
Sorry to interrupt, sir, but can we say that recruitment precedes staffing, or it is a small part of staffing, sir?
Recruitment is a small part of staffing. See, recruitment in fact is a process. Recruitment, pata hai, when we recruit somebody, it forms a small portion of staffing. See, staffing is proper allocation of human resource.
Sorry to interrupt. Your voice is so low.
Slow. What about others? Are all of you able to hear me properly?
Yes, sir, your voice is very audible.
Yeah, then I think the issue must be at your end. Just increase the volume of your speaker. It may be low. Okay, fine. So Satyendra was asking the question. See, recruitment is just a small process of finding the right person for the right job and at the right time. Right? Simple word, in layman's word. So I'm going to see, this is the presentation. See, staffing is the process of hiring eligible candidate in the organization or company for specific position. It's a simple definition, I would say. In management, the meaning of staffing and operation of recruiting the employees by evaluating their skill, knowledge, and then offering them specific job role accordingly. Let us find out more about staffing. See, this is a definition, bookish definition of staffing. Staffing can be defined as one of the most important function of management. It involves the process of, see, this is the actual definition. It involves the process of filling the vacant position of the right personnel at the right job at the right time. Hence, everything will occur in the right manner. These are the 7 important functions of staffing. See, we have seen functions of staffing, and these are the 7 important functions. Okay, just a moment. Recruitment is part of staffing. Yes, Satyendra. Recruitment is part of staffing. Just a moment. Excuse me for a moment. Yes, sorry for the interruption. See, these are the 7 important functions of staffing. See, we have seen the important functions of management through POST-SCOL as an acronym. Now, these are the 7 important functions of staffing, which includes, see, first is manpower planning. You have to plan out how much employees you will require, how many of them will be in HR, how many of them will for marketing. Domain wise, you have to do the manpower planning. Then you have to develop those manpower, right? By recruiting, fixing the employment standards, sources. You have to find out internal as well as external sources. We'll be coming to it. Then selection and placement, training and other functions. These are all broad functions. See, in fact, the other functions of staffing include coordination amongst the employee, coordination amongst the department, then promotion, transfer, record maintenance of the employee. Like we have our own personal file. If you are working somewhere, then definitely your organization might be maintaining a personal file as a record that will include all your credentials, important documents like your joining report, right? Then it will also include your promotion records and all those things. So along with the dates and along with the remarks, right? And it also involves appraisal, performance appraisal, also rating of employees, that is appraisal of employees. These are all part of or functions of staffing. And motivation is again one of the things. Maintaining morale. See, there is a difference between motivation and morale, right? So these are all, see, anything and everything related to human resources is nothing but staffing, in simple word. Anything and everything that is related to human resources. It can be leadership also. The way people are motivated, it is to a leader. Usually it's the job of leader to motivate the employees or the managers. Here we can see, we have seen the difference between leader and manager also. So anything and everything which is related to human resource working in the organization forms the part of staffing, right? And recruitment is just one of the small component, which is a process of finding the right employees and then deploying or it is also called as induction, inducing them in the organization. Or placement, it is also called as placement. If you are giving a promotion, many a time it is also called as placement, particularly in education line. Placement, if I want to I want to grow from assistant professor to associate professor, usually placement is the word that is used when there is internal promotion. And so you are not recruiting from outside. External recruitment is not there. It is a part of internal recruitment where you are promoting one person from one job role to another job role. Like for example, associate professor being promoted to professor, which usually happens in government educational institutes, universities and all. So there it is called as placement, which is a form of internal recruitment. Yes, Manisha, you want to ask something?
Yes, sir. Sir, I just means I am having a doubt. Means
Yes.
staffing is the primary process or the recruitment is the primary process?
See, staffing, as I said, is a very broad function. It is a primary function of management, right? And recruitment is just part of it. We have seen through post-crop, those are all primary functions of management, and there are various other functions. The way I have shown here, like staffing, staffing, we have various other functions. As I said, anything and everything related to human resource in the organization will form the part of staffing, and this function is taken care by human resource managers or HR, human resource department, HRD, right? HRD also stand for human resource development. But HR department usually the onus lies on the HR department to take care of staffing, to know what will be the future requirement of employees, whether to hire, what time to hire, right? How to hire, whether through external agencies or whether to use references and all those things. I'll be coming to that also. And see, these are the importance of staffing. Why is staffing so important? Because we all know human resource is the most valuable resource in the organization. I'm saying the primary focus of good organization is on human resource. If you really want to grow, like I always quote the examples of Tata's, they are very keen on their human resource. They want to see their employees to be happy. I have quoted example of Amazon, where they believe in hiring the best of best, the best and the brightest, right? So their focus is on developing human resource rather than concentrating on the competitors or other things. The primary focus is human resource, because human resource are the people which will make the organization or break the organization. Manisha, you
Yes,
followed
sir.
it.
Got it.
Okay,
Thank you.
fine. So as I said, human resource is the most valuable. Jyoti, yes, you have something to ask?
Sir, placement is different from staffing and recruiting.
Just a minute. Yes, what was your question?
Regarding placement is different from staffing and recruiting.
Yeah, placement, placement forms the part of staffing. Recruitment is altogether a very different function. I would say, fine, you can put placement as part of internal recruitment, right? Placement as a part of internal recruitment. So staffing, as I said, is very broad, right? Before we move ahead, I'd like to share one link with you. It's a book on Amazon which is related to this particular subject. Can you see the screen? I've written it for MBAs only, but it matches your entire syllabus. I'm going to share the screen, and the e-copy, if you are having Kindle, you can read it for free, or that free app, or otherwise it is only for 49 rupees. If you are able to read, if you are comfortable reading e-books, then you can definitely order it, because I tried to explain everything in a very simple language compared to what the foreign authors or the big reference books talks about. And this almost 95-99% of the syllabus is covered in this book. All of you can see this link in the screen.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
You can click upon it, or if you are having Kindle, then you can read it for free also. Okay. Let us move back to our presentation. Fine. Because somebody,
या सर,
Yes.
हेलो सर.
Yes.
एक्चुअली जो आपने अभी बुक आपने रेफर किया है, वो बुक जो अभी आप बता रहे हैं इसमें पीएफ में, वही सेम उसमें है क्या?
Yes, more or less same. See, all the part I have not taken from the book. Book is altogether from the examination point of view. but it covers up the entire syllabus, almost 100%, I would say. It covers up.
Okay, actually, I missed my few lectures.
You can refer to that book.
Starting lectures.
Yeah.
Okay.
For people like you can refer to that book, and you can refer to the videos which is available on our LMS platform, recorded videos. That is more than sufficient from the exam point of view. Knowledge
Okay,
point of
so
view.
this presentation is also available on the site?
Yes. All the students know about it. It is
Okay.
all the recorded videos are available. Even few pre-recorded videos are there. I would say videos shooted on these particular topics. In fact, those videos are mine video only. Those were shooted in the studio, Symbiosis Studio, which is there in Model Colony. Right? You can refer to that. But my advice would be you refer to all the videos, session videos, because it is more of an interactive. Studio recording is more of a passive, it is one-way communication. Here student, they do ask questions, and we refer to many MCQs also, so you can refer to that. Okay. And book definitely is not very costly compared to Robbins and all. Robbins also I have shared earlier. I do not know whether you were there or not, but Robbins is again a sort of Bible. One book on management fundamental is there, which we have earlier. It was shared by one of the students. It's an excellent book, very lengthy book, 555 pages. And this book, which I have referred to you, will come handy for your examination.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, fine. Let us move ahead. As I said, what is the importance? We all know the importance of staffing. May it be an organization or even at your home. We have made housemaid which comes to us, right? According to our requirement, few of you might be having your own chauffeur-driven cars, like drivers and all. This is all part of staffing. I would say this is very informal staffing which we do in our houses. But in organization, there requires a lot of planning, because you have to take into consideration the supply and demand for your product or goods or services. Accordingly, you have to find out the projection, what is going to happen in future. So it requires very meticulous planning. In fact, everything starts with planning. That is what we have seen in the functions of management. SCOL. Again, I am repeating that acronym again and again, so that whenever you have doubt and confusion, you can refer to that acronym of SCOL. P stands for planning. Here in staffing also, planning is very important. I'll be coming to that also. See, this is the process of planning. In fact, different book will see this particular diagram. You will find in the book which I have referred just now. Right? Somebody has asked the question whether whatever I am explaining is there in the book. In fact, everything is there in the book. Okay. So staffing will always see most of the functions. You talk about organizing, we'll also start with planning. Talk about directing, everything has to be planned. You have to put everything in black and white, right? If you want to be really formal, right? Informally, you can do many planning just by thinking and not putting anything on paper. But when we talk about organization, everything has to be documented. Not necessarily on paper. Nowadays, laptops and these computers are coming very handy. You can plan out, you can use various different tools that are available, like calendar. Google Calendar is there, that can be used for planning, right? In fact, many tools are there, like CPM, PERT, many of the operational tools are there that can also be used. And it is all up to you what sort of tool you are comfortable with and what sort of planning you are supposed to do. Till what depth you have to do it. So everything will start with manpower planning. Then once you have planned out how much you required, what sort of people you required, what is the qualification, what is the experience you like to have, how many freshers you will need, right? How many intern is again plan of staffing, is a part of staffing. Entrants, those who are there for a few months or a year probably, not more than that, and those people are called as entrants, who are not on the payroll most of the time. Few organizations do take them on payroll also because they pay them stipends. So this is all part of staffing, and this requires a lot of planning if you really want your organization to function properly, right? So job analysis goes second step, then recruitment, selection, placement, induction. I'll be showing video on this, so I won't be going into depth of it. I'm going to play a clip for all of you, right? Just a moment. Can you see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Just see this definition we have already seen, right? This is a definition. Is a human resource function. See, staffing is a human resource function of identifying, attracting, hiring, and retaining people. It is not only hiring, but it is also retaining people, so that attrition ratio or attrition rate is minimum, because that costs a lot to the organization. With the necessary qualification. See, you have to recruit them with the proper qualification so that they match the job profile. The candidate profile should match the job profile. That is nothing but matching the position with the right candidate, and feel the responsibility of current and future jobs in the organization. This is the very bookish definition. In fact, it talks about the same thing. The keywords are there, like identifying, attracting, hiring, and hiring is nothing but recruiting. See, hiring and recruiting, you can use it as a synonymous, right? Those two words are more or less the same. So hiring and then retaining through how you are going to retain the employees. Anybody in the group? What can be done to retain the employees?
Yesterday, ma'am, so we learned about the theory of factors,
Right,
where we
right.
were told that the employees can be retained by increasing the motivation factor.
Right. See, motivation can be through what? It can be motivating through words, right? Appreciating them, or it can be through rewards also, like promotions, then increments, right? So motivation can be financial as well as non-financial, right? So all sort of motivation is required if you really want to retain good employees, good people in your organization. And see, this is a basic two components. As we were talking about, staffing has two main components. First one is recruitment, and selection is choosing who to hire, right? किसको अपने को hire करना है. Recruitment is a process of identifying and attracting people with the necessary qualification, and selection is actually interviewing them and then finding out. Yeah, Satyendra has correctly pointed out, monetary as well as non-monetary factors come into picture when we talk about retention or lowering the attrition rate. If you really don't want your employees to quit the job for whatever reason, it can be monetary reason, it can be lack of job satisfaction. So you have to continuously keep on motivating the employees if you really want to retain them, right? So that is one of the major, most important component. आपने सब कर लिया, you have done all staffing purpose, but what if your employees are not being retained? They are moving away, right? Whatever reason, as I said, it can be personal as well as non-personal. It can be factors related to the working environment, right? Working ambience in your organization. So care has to be taken that you properly retain, because that costs a lot to the organization, and when a good employee is usually quit, right? Satyendra, yes, you want to say something?
Sorry to interrupt, sir, but can we say that along with the other factors, job recognitions, promotions, and appraisals also play an important role in retaining the employees? And one thing I've noticed, sir, that companies usually try to retain the existing employees rather than going for the newer recruitments, because adding new employees is more costly than retaining the existing employees. So this is one of the important factors, sir.
Definitely, because see, in recruiting, lot many things goes, like you have to promote that particular job, right? Then you have to the HR people will come into picture, then training and development comes into picture, and actually once the recruitment is done, the employee will be contributing, not immediately, because once they join, they need some time to get comfortable in the organization, to know the organization, to know its culture. Lot many things come into picture. Probably after months, 1 month's time, 2 months' time, 3 months' time, slowly and steadily the employee will start contributing to the actual output of the organization. Most of the time, few days are only meant for training and all those purpose. The reason is simple, because yes, D'Souza, you want to say something?
That's why, sir, I just wanted to say there is a thing called probation period,
Exactly,
which is
exactly.
for
Good,
6 months.
good. Actually, I was missing that word, probation. See, probation periods in teaching job is usually of 2 years. Then a few organization they have 3 years. It depends on what sort of industry, in which industry you are planning to work, and what is your job profile. Probably for workers, the what you call probation period might be lower. But as I had quoted you the example, since I belong to education line, teaching line, the probation period usually in most of the universities, including government university, agriculture as well as non-agriculture universities, the induction period is the placement period, not induction. Induction is something different, right? Induction is just getting the employees comfortable when they join the new recruitee from external join. You induce them or induct them in the organization. It is through induction programs, which usually last for 15 days or 1 month's time, probably. Those can be of 2 days or 3 days also. Yes, this is you again want to say something?
Yeah, induction you can say, sir, that is the introduction to the organization.
Good,
You are
good.
introducing something
Exactly.
new.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Making the employees comfortable, letting them know what exactly is your organization, how, what is your culture, right? So all this thing, like, it's sort of introduction. You have correctly used the word. Introducing the organization to the new recruit is nothing but induction, right? And probation, you have rightly pointed out, it is probation period, because employees take time, and those I would say is the cost to the organization, because at that point of time probably the employee is not contributing to the fullest. They are contributing. It's not that right from day one everybody start contributing, but not to the fullest potential, right? Just a moment. Yes. So फर्स्ट एज आई सेड आइडेंटिफाइंग ऑफ जॉब पोजीशन वैकेंसीज. पहले तो आपको पता करना पड़ेगा हाउ मेनी पीपल you need and why do you need it, what is the purpose, job requirement, right, as well as workforce requirement. Workforce is like across the organization, right? Job position vacancy, ये सब आपको as a HR you have to do this analysis. Workforce, this is also called as workforce analysis. How much is required right now and how much will be required in the future, right? Second step is checking the internal environment of organization for human resource. Internal environment, what does it mean? How many people are already working there, कितने लोग already काम कर रहे हैं. You have to check out this, and accordingly you can again go back to step one, that knowing how many of the employees will be required. Today at present, how many are there, how many you required as of today, and you have to do projection also, maybe for a year's time or 5 years time. It's entirely depend on what sort of industry you are working, how fearsome is the competition. All this thing will come into picture. So this has to be planned out. You cannot just recruit people and then say one fine day you say fine, we do not need you now. That is not ideal situation. You have to recruit according to your requirement, otherwise it is going to cost a lot to the organization, right? So third step is external recruiting. First of all, you can look out for people internally only, कि somebody you can re-employ this employee based on the skill they have acquired. And then yes, Vasundhara, you want to say something?
Yes, I was just asking you, sir, these just steps हैं. First, second, third step. These are the steps of process of staffing only.
Yeah, this is a process of See, whatever we're talking is related to staffing only. This is the process of staffing.
Okay, thank you.
Just a minute. Yes. So as I said, external recruiting, that is was the third step. Third is selecting those with essential qualifications. See, selecting is a process of interviewing, right? Screening the CVs which we have received, and that is part of selecting. And then calling those who are screened out, right? Those people who are screened out according to your job requirement, calling those people and interviewing them is a part of selecting, right? again, as I said, selecting forms the part of recruiting, and recruiting is a part of staffing. So don't get confused by these words. It may sound similar in nature, but their entire procedure and processes are different, right? Selection is just a small segment of recruiting. Recruiting in itself is like promoting the job in the market, right? Matching, Satyendra has said, matching the qualification of employee required with the requirement of company. Yes, matching the job profile with the candidate's profile. It's nothing but selecting. If you feel that that person will be able to give justice, then you select that person. That was fourth step. And fifth is placing the selected applicant. Once you have selected them, then it is also called as inducing or introduction. I think D'Souza has rightly said, like placement refers to occupying of post by this candidate for which he is selected. It is also called as placement, right? Internal placement, and you can have external placement also. That is placing the selected employee on the post for which you have selected them. This is the fifth step in the process of staffing. Let us move further. Promoting, right? Fifth was what? Placing them, and then based on their performance, how good they perform, you usually give promotions or increment. This is also called as increment is also part of promotion. But many times promotion is used when the candidate is promoted from higher level to lower level. Promotion refers to being placed at a higher job position with more pay, job satisfaction and responsibilities. Right? Just a moment. Yes, so I was talking about promoting. 6 is promoting and evaluating performance. That is part of performance. That is part of performance appraisal, right? Evaluating the performance. Again, this is part of staffing. Promotion boosts the morale of employee. Yes, Ritu. Promotion, yeah, we have talked about it. It is not moral, it is morale. M-O-R-A-L-E, right? Morale. It is pronounced as moral, and moral is something different, right? Moral, and motivation. These are 3 different words which have different meanings, right? Moral, M-O-R-A-L-E, right? Moral, M-O-R-A-L, and motivation. These are 3 different words. Don't get confused in this. Evaluating performance is nothing but doing the appraisal. It can be annual appraisal, it can be biannual appraisal. It depends what are the company's policy, what are they following, right? So this is the 7th step, and after that usually 5 steps are there which I'll be showing you. We can club few steps together. Planning of employee career, right? You can offer them executive MBA program. Many organizations they do it, right? Many organizations they do planning of employees career also, because they want to retain the employees. It can be through offering them various programs like educating them or giving them training, right? So that they upgrade their skill and become an asset for the organization rather than liability. See, whenever there is technological change, you need to give them training. See, this is training, right? 9th step is training the employees through various means and media, right? Mediums like online. You can offer them the course you are doing right now. Some organizations they do offer such type of things, and compensating human resources, like matching their inputs with their output. I'm saying whatever inputs they are giving, accordingly you are going to compensate in terms of salary, in terms of incentive, in terms of perks, in terms of rewards. And see, this is what we were talking about, recruitment, right? Which forms the part of staffing. Now, recruitment, as I said, can be of 2 types. First one is external, and second one is internal. So obviously, internal is something where you do not recruit somebody from outside, but you recruit people, internal, right? Internal is something where you recruit people within the organization. Okay, just a moment. Yes, so we were talking about this external recruitment method includes. What are those? Just somebody want to do. Internal job transfers. Yes, so who was this? It can be. Just a minute. Yes, so somebody was like in the chat box. Satyendra is saying internal recruitments is internal job transfer. Yeah, it can be through transfer. It can be through internal recruitment also includes you can ask for references from your employees who are working there, where you usually do not let the openings know the outside world, right? Whereas external recruitment can be unsolicited application which you have received earlier, received by employers from individual who may or may not be qualified for the job openings. These are general what you can call, you can use a word like cold calling. You may just receive a call from people or the prospective employees asking whether there are job opening, and they may drop their CV with you. So this type of recruitment can be through unsolicited applications also. Yes, D'Souza, you want to say something?
Yes, actually nowadays there are portals in the offices where they are even telling the employees if they have any references, so or who are desiring a good job. So they tell them to upload their CVs and all, and in turn, whenever their candidates are selected, so these employees get a incentive, sort of a reward also.
Right. That also happens because see, through references, one thing is guaranteed, that you know the employees. Somebody is knowing the employee very well,
yes,
personally as well as professionally, right? So that is the advantage you get when usually the staffing or recruitment is done through references, right? Because you know the background of the employee, because the many time in interview you do not come to know what exactly is the attitude and the thinking of the employee, right? So references helps a lot, because probably I will refer only the person who is suitable for that job and whose guarantee I can take, right? Many times it acts as a guarantee also that he is a good person, right? So I hope all of you following what I'm saying up till now.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine.
Yes, sir.
Okay, see here it is. Employee referrals are recommendation from organizations present employee who usually refer friends and relatives who they think are qualified for the job, and who they think are good human beings, right? That is very important. When we talk about human resources, you need good human beings to work. You need not be Einstein or smart person, right? Normal human being is required to work in, because see, organization, the jobs are teamwork. Everybody need not be a leader, right? In fact, we need few followers also who will follow the instruction properly. In fact, teamwork is needed. More often, it's all because of teamwork. The organization is going to survive or it is going to grow. It's all because of teamwork. So employee referrals forms the very important part when we talk about internal recruitment, right? Usually the recruitment is from outside, but the sources are internal to the organization. Executive search firm, also known as headhunters, helps employers find the right person for the right job. These are also called as placement agencies. Yes.
So employee referrals will come under the category of external recruitment or internal recruitment?
See, I'm going to answer that. See, employee referral is usually you are recruiting from outside. It's usually external recruitment, but the sources are internal, right? You are not letting know the outside world that you are having an opening, right? Or even if you are let it known, you can recruit through. So your answer to your question is, it is external recruitment. but the sources are internal, right? Whereas like this educational institute and placement agencies or job portals like Naukri.com, these are also used to identify the right person, right? So these are all.
Unsolicited application, what is the meaning of this?
See,
This
it
is
means
between employee referral and unsolicited application.
Unsolicited means जिसे you have not asked for those applications. People on their own might email you, their CVs, even though the job openings are not there. Like educational institute, they receive many applications from desiring candidates, those who would like to make a changeover, right? Maybe because they want to move to a better city, or it can be anything. Resume received from prospective employees or stored in job pool or database. Yeah, see, whenever resumes are received, usually HR department will screen it out and keep it as a source, as a pool, right? So that whenever requirements comes, they can refer to those unsolicited emails. Okay. So have you got the answer? Unsolicited, right?
Unsolicited application, so that means it is referrals by which people themselves go to the institute or any other area where they need to do a job without any the upcoming, or you can say any call letter. They are doing it on their own.
Unsolicited means the organization has not called for it, right? Somebody on their own has forwarded it to the organization asking for the job openings. That is the meaning of unsolicited, which you have not called for, right? Somebody which has come on its own. So that is nothing but unsolicited. Okay. So let us move ahead. Labor unions also, it can be used to recruit blue collars employees, even professional for professional jobs. These are all the sources.
What is meant by blue collar?
Blue collar means worker category. White collar means executives. People who are working in the position of managers, right, are usually called as white collar, because I'll give you the logic also, because probably they wear white shirts. Most of the manager will find them in white shirt. Not a thumb rule, but and blue collar the workers you will find in blue apron, right? So that's why blue collar, where the job is usually operational job, right? So labor unions will come handy because they do have list of prospective blue collars worker, right? That is the definition of blue collar. People working in the yes.
So the nurses and the staff that is working in the hospital sector,
Yes.
so they will come under the category of blue collar.
Yes, exactly. Good, because even they wear white. Even though they nurses usually wear white dresses, but they comes into the category of blue collar, right? So external recruitment method. What are the methods? It can see, this is again part of that only. Public and private employee agencies can also be used as a source from employee exchange. Yes, who has pointed it out? Satyendra. See, even government maintained a record. Like I can quote you an example of education. Usually university do have a record of prospective employees. They maintain a record, and they usually will provide to all the educational institute if they have a requirement, so that they can shortlist from that and recruit accordingly, because that is going to save lot of time. You can directly call the employees, interview them, and then recruit them. So these agencies also come very, very handy when we talk about this public and private employees agencies. So any sort of source you can use depending on your requirement, depending on how much is the requirement, and depending on how quickly you want to recruit them, right? So I think we'll move to MCQs. Let us go through few of the MCQs. Just a minute. I'm going to show you few MCQs, and I want to contribute. See, these are the few of the MCQs. related to recruitment and selection, which forms the part of staffing. Yes, first question, can somebody read it for me? Very simple MCQ.
Which of these is purpose of recruitment? Make sure that there is match between cost and benefit. Help increase the success rate of the selection process by reducing the number of visibility underqualified or overqualified job applicants. Help the firm create more culturally diverse workforce. None
Yes.
of these
Yes,
above.
good. So what can be the correct option?
B, sir.
B, good. Who was that?
So Sarthak here, sir.
Sarthak. Okay, good.
Tribal race, sir.
Yeah. See, the correct option is B. I'll show
B.
you.
Help increase the success rate of.
Yes, B. Answer is B. Help increase the success rate of selection process by reducing the number of visibly underqualified or overqualified job applicants. Second MCQ. Yes, somebody can read it for me.
The poor quality of selection will mean extra cost on days and supervision.
Yes. What will be that extra cost?
Recruitment.
No. See, poor. If you once you have selected and the
See, sir. See, sir.
It might be training.
training
Training.
is the right option, because if your selection is poor, then you have to train them. A lot of time will go on that, right? So the correct option is training. Answer is training, right? All of you getting me? What see, recruitment is not a correct answer, because recruitment in itself is a process. That process is going to cost. Anyway, it is going to cost, not extra. It is going to cost. Work quality will come afterwards. First of all, if your selection is poor, you have to supervise those employees quite minutely, and secondly, you have to train them also if they are not matching the profile. Okay, all of you followed this option.
Say yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll skip this. I'll skip this also. Yeah, this is again very simple. In fact, you can use a logic. Fifth one. Which of the following acts?
Which of the following?
Yes. Go ahead.
Which of the following act deals with recruitment and selection?
So these
Child
are-
Labor Act, the Apprentice Act, Mines Act, all of the above. All of the.
Yes.
All of the above.
All of the above. Very good. Because see, I've already earlier also have given you a hint. When the option is all of the above, and if you find two of them matching, you can definitely go for this, right? And most of the time, all of the above option is 90% of the time it is all of the above option. So the correct answer is all of the above. These are all acts related to recruitment and selections. Child Labor Act, then Apprentices Act, and then Mine Act. I'll skip this. All of the above. Yeah, this. Seventh. Yeah, somebody read it out. Who was reading it?
This refers to the process of identifying and attracting job seekers so as to build a pool of qualified job applicants. Selection, training, recruitment, induction.
Yes, what can be that?
Recruitment.
Recruitment, sir.
See, recruitment. You're sure about it? Refers to the process of recruitment. Good. Yes, it's recruitment. It's a process, right? That is what we have seen. I'll skip this. Can you arrange this? I think you won't be able to. Can somebody do this? It's again very simple. You know.
Yes,
Pardon
sir.
me?
Answer is visible.
Acha, answer is given already. Fine. Anyway, let us move ahead. Here also answer is given. Hide answer. Okay, fine. Let us go to this. No, not this. Not this. Not this. Not this. Yeah, let us 11th.
Okay. Which of the following are the decisions to be made while devising the strategies to hire? Geographic distribution of labor markets compromising job seekers, make or buy employees, sequences the activities in the recruitment process, all of the above.
So all of the above.
Sir, all of the
Again,
above.
again, logically, it has to be all of the above, right? Because all these are part of devising the strategies to hire. You have to take into consideration the geographical labor market. If you are hiring laborers, make or buy employees. Make means whether to train your internal employees or whether to go for external recruitment. sequencing the activities in recruitment process. These are all the strategies that need to be devised for hiring the employees or recruiting the employees. Okay. Fine. That is all for today. In fact, I am having another lecture. It's about back-to-back sort of lecture. So I'm going to we are going to conclude here. Any doubt up till now? Any doubt and queries?
Sir, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Sir, may I ask a question?
Yes.
Sir, it will be easier for us if you will give some MCQs, PPT or notes so that we...
Fine. Tomorrow we are having a lecture. I'll share the links of good MCQs with you. All of you. Okay. And book you can refer.
Sir, tomorrow at what time?
Pardon me? One by one? Yes.
Sir, tomorrow's lecture at what time? As we are
Same time.
Okay, thank you.
12 o'clock. Fine. Thank you all of you for attending. Let us meet tomorrow.
Sir, it's only a suggestion, not any advice, sir. OB ma'am has organized a Kahoot session so that we faced some MCQs and know about the lessons. So if you will organize.
Exam, you want an exam? Small exam sort of?
Sir, the OB faculty had organized a quiz, sir, that is on Kahoot.
Quiz.
It was on a
After
website known as
completing one
Kahoot.in.
unit, you can take one exam, sir. That will be better. Like we can have some practice and idea.
I'll share a Google form link, a quiz I'll prepare, and we can rate the people also based on that.
Yes, sir, there is a website known as Kahoot.in.
So one more request. Sir, excuse me, sir.
Yes,
So
yes.
one more request that whenever, sir, you will be conducting the objective or whatever exams you will be conducting,
Right.
so please kindly just inform us 2-3 days before, because we are also have other things in lineup.
Okay.
So because so we are
See what we'll do is
time, sir, time also.
yeah. See, we'll have a quiz for 20 minutes. I'll give it online only. The reason is very simple, so that you don't refer to anything, and the time you solve there and there itself, and we get a result immediately. Okay.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
And the quiz will be comprising all the 4 factors which we have done of management, like planning, organizing, staffing.
Yes. It will be
Sir, ठीक है, तो sir, very well.
probably
Tell us the date and time.
date and time. I'll tell you tomorrow. Okay.
Sir, ma'am was actually referring to one of the websites, that is Kahoot.in, sir. Kahoot.in. So that is very user friendly, sir. So if you can...
Yeah, I have not used it. I'll go through it. But I find Google Forms very easy.
Okay, sir. Okay.
It comes very easy, handy for me at least. Kahoot, I do not know. I'll refer to it if I find it
We'll
comfortable.
refer on the WhatsApp group, so you can go through it, sir.
Yes, Kahoot.in. Fine.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Satyendra. Thank you all of you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Bye-bye, sir.
Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Take care. Bye.
Recording in progress.
very good afternoon to all of you, and welcome back to this session on management on startups and new venture. And I'm going to start the session because it's already a time, and I'm going to play a few videos here. And see, this is the topic we are going to cover today: recruiting, selecting, hiring, and hiring the first employee, which is part of Unit 4. Okay, I'm going to play a video for you. Just now I had a session on management fundamental. Similar title I have covered there also.